welcome back to GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be a little unusual. We're going to be doing another video on... Hey everyone, welcome back to GreyWolf Towers again. So today's video is going to be a little unusual for the channel, like I guess so many other videos. This one is going to be an unboxing video on the white 4080 Super from Zotac. The specific model being the Trinity OC, which is one of their higher tiered cards. That is according to Zotac directly. So as we open the box and get it out, we're going to take a look at everything. We're going to see what is included, and we're going to go ahead and give our opinion. Now this will be my opinion in this video. I would, however, love for you all to comment down below and share your thoughts on the card's appearance and what you think of the card. And if you own this model, if you want to leave a message about how you like or don't like the card, what you do or don't like about it, that kind of stuff. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. Now Zotac does say this is basically designed for those gamers who want the best. So it is among their top end stuff. It does use a technology called Ice Storm 2.0 for the cooler, but we'll go over the looks of that in a moment here. So if you're ready, let's go ahead. Now, one of the things that I do like about these, and I apologize, I do have a script that I'm partially reading from, and over time I may not look directly at the camera. I apologize ahead of time. Still trying to get that down pat. I haven't quite gotten to the memorization stage of memorizing everything in the scripts yet, so bear with me. So one of the things that we like here at this channel is when a box comes sealed, and this one does have a seal both here and here on the box. You get an image of what the card is supposed to look like, the little spiel about what stuff it has with it. On the bottom side you've got the sticker with the serial number and things like that. More branding on the sides, so nothing out of the ordinary. And then on the back you have the little, whatever you want to call it, cheat sheet or whatever about the technology involved. Basically, Ice Storm 2.0 for the cooling, Spectra for customizable RGB, so it does have RGB in the card. Firestorm, which is a user interface, so that's going to be the software that you're going to have to download to use it. That won't be included in the box most of the time. It'll be a download that you have to download off their website, but there's usually a little card that gives you a little scan code for your phone or whatever. And then it says freeze, fans stop when the GPU is idle. So it's got something built in to monitor whether it's under use, and if it's not, it kills the fans so you're not wasting power and things like that. So some of the nicer features that you'll want to keep in mind for the Zotac 4080 Super is that it is an NVIDIA card, and NVIDIA cards do have different features than AMD cards, which I do not bash. I have nothing against them. I love AMD cards because I am a firm believer that we need more than one or two competitors in the fields for things like graphics cards. So now, key features that you get with an NVIDIA brand card, not just Zotac, is that you get ray tracing cores. And this card has a new version of the ray tracing cores because it's a 40 series, it's got the latest version. It has dedicated tensor cores. It has DLSS 3, and I believe 3.5 is now available as well. It has the ability to run both the standard gaming drivers as well as the studio drivers, which give you some added features in the driver set for doing more creator stuff as opposed to just gaming. It does come with, when you download the driver set will come with the GeForce Experience. If you've ever had a graphics card from NVIDIA before, then you know what I'm talking about. It's basically just a way to utilize the driver and make sure that it's optimized, that kind of stuff. It's kind of similar in concept to the Adrenaline package from AMD. It has NVIDIA Broadcast, which, if I understand correctly, is kind of like a special function that they're adding in now to help you to stream and do podcasts and things like that type of stuff. It of course has the ability to do G-Sync, which any modern NVIDIA card has the ability to do. It has GPU Boost, which is an NVIDIA feature. It just means that it's going to have a boost clock rating, so it may only go up to, you know, a certain speed of, say, 2500 megahertz on normal use, but because of the boost in the driver's features, it may, if it's cool enough and kept cool enough, it may be able to boost to 2750 megahertz, something along those lines. I'm just giving rough numbers. I'm not quoting exact speeds of this card. I have not actually looked that up yet. I will try and remember to put that down here as to what its actual speeds rated at. It does use PCIe 4, not PCIe 3. 30 series pretty much started the PCIe 4 set of cards. 50 series is supposed to be PCIe 5, so we're starting to get into more advanced stuff. You will want to use this with a PCIe 4 motherboard if at all possible. It will run on a 3rd gen board, like say a Z390 or 370 that runs an 8th gen Intel chip, or an AM4 B450 motherboard. It will work with those motherboards, however you won't get necessarily the maximum performance out of it. So do keep that in mind. It does run with DirectX 12 Ultimate, so you do have the ability to run the older like DX10, DX11, regular DX12, but you also have the features of DX12 Ultimate that you can utilize this card with as well. So you get a lot more flexibility in gaming and other apps that use DirectX. It does have HDCP 2.3, which I'm not very knowledgeable about HDCP, but if I understand it correctly, it's a feature that's based around the video stream going from this to monitors and TVs and things like that. And if you don't have HDCP, then it does not usually work with like a TV, for instance, or a monitor. It does run DisplayPort 1.4a, and that is up to 4K, 240 hertz, or 240 FPS before you get screen tear, things like that. 8K up to 60 hertz, so you do have that. And then for the HDMI, it has 2.1a, which is again 240 hertz on 4K or 60 hertz on 8K. So you have that capability. It does have things like HDR, gaming VRR, which I have not researched into. Things along those lines are all features that are included. So you do have all of that available with your purchase of the NVIDIA card, and then you also get things like the NVENC encoder and whatnot there. So let's go ahead and pop open the box and see what we get. Now this card I bought for a customer, for a client. I would even call him a friend at times. I'm building a computer for him. We wanted to make sure we got this at a reasonable price because 5000 series around the corner is probably going to be a paper launch, which means they're not going to have much inventory. Prices are going to jack up. When that happens and they start scalping those cards, they're going to scalp these as well. And so I fully think that these cards are going to hit $1,400 a piece when the 5000 series has been released. So inside the box, we have another box. It is emblazoned with Zotac Gaming. It has a little bit of a wave to it, so it's got a little bit of a design. You won't see it unless you're actually looking at the box, but let's see. Not sure you can see it, but hopefully you can see that little logo and design. Now this box opens with a little pull here, but it is a little tab. So there we go. And then the sides pop a little bit. So then we open up the box. One of the nice things I like is that when this popped open, I think it was just the foam doing it, but it popped up this little cardboard cutout a little bit, which has the gaming power the wind. Oh, love gaming. So I do like that the foam inside popped up and caused this to pop up a little bit so it was easy to grab and lift. Now it does come with this little packet, which from the feel of it, and I'll double check in a second here, has things like the quick start guide and things along those lines. It says love gaming, power the win. It's got the little logo up here, Zotac.com written on the bottom. And see how right I was about the installation guide being in here. Ooh, hey, Vilsas. All right, so this is your installation guide. just a little quick start type thing here, driver install, that kind of stuff. So it tells you where to go, and like I mentioned before, it has the little scan code for a QR code. Love gaming, so it's got a little pamphlet in here that you open up, and it talks about Zotac Cup moments, so share to get rewarded. So it's got a little flyer for stuff, and there's little scan codes up here for the QR codes. Love gaming, power the win, and then it's got additional stuff that Zotac is apparently making, routers and computers and things like that. So there's a little advertisement in it. You have your little GPU power connector installation guide. So this is for the power adapter they most likely included, which we will find out about in a minute. And then it has the support stand quick guide. So this is going to be a little four-step process of installing the bracket for holding the card. If it's anything like the previous one that I've unboxed and already used, which I'll try and, I think it's this side that the posts come to, I'll try to add that video when I post this one. That video card is amazing. The stand that comes with it works perfectly without problems, but it is a beefy card. I'm sure this one is as well, and that stand is definitely an important thing that will need to be installed. But it was not the simplest either. It did take some steps to get in there. It looks like the extra freebie is also a little sticker for the case to show that you have Zetorn. I think that's how it's spelled. It looks like an N. So, live to game, Zotac Gaming. This is actually just a little stand-up thing. It's got little directions on the back, so it's kind of cool. But all right, we'll go ahead and set that down. All right, so now we're going to take a closer look at the graphics card and see how this card looks and get a little show and tell of the different parts of it. So inside you've got the little bracket piece here. So this is going to be, okay. If I understand it correctly, it's pretty simple here. I didn't read the direction pamphlet, but it looks like this has little rubber feet to sit on your basement of your computer. This here's got a little pad to hold the graphics card so it doesn't scratch. And then you've got a little turn knob to tighten this at the different levels of wherever the graphics card's going to sit. So you've got your little stand, and then you can raise or lower it to meet where the card is. So pretty simple and straightforward. I do think that the one that came with my Gigabyte card is definitely harder to install than this. However, I think it's a better stand, but that's personal preference. So we'll go ahead and put that back. And it does have an adapter. It is 112VHPWR, I think is how it's spelled. If it's wrong, I'll post here if I get a chance. And then it converts 3 of your 8 pins into one of those. So this is really only needed if you have an older power supply that does not have the newer standard that NVIDIA uses. The power supply that will go in with this graphics card will have that adapter as one of the interchangeable cables that comes with the modular power supply that we're using. I've got a similar one that came with it, so this here would be the graphics card. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a peek at our graphics card that we have here and see what we think about it. I'm going to be honest, I think my first impression, even just seeing the box, was right. So when I first received this and looked at the box, I thought to myself, you know what, I might just tell the guy that I'm getting this for that, hey, you know, it didn't arrive, it got stolen off the patio and they're not covering it by insurance because it was delivered, and just use it myself. I definitely like the looks of this card. I definitely like the looks of this card. It is an amazing looking card. Sleek, professional, yet fun at the same time. It does have sticker on here to keep it from getting scratched. You have 1, 2, 3 display ports, again 1.4A, which is 4K 240 hertz. I'll probably not cut that out, even though I should. 240 hertz 4K capable ports. So it has the 3 DisplayPort 1.4A and 1 2.1A HDMI port, just one. So you do need to keep in mind, if you are using 4 monitors or even 2 or 3, only one can be HDMI. The others will be DisplayPort, or you'll have to buy special adapters that convert. The back, I can already see some smudges from my fingerprints, so that is going to be something that we're going to have to wipe down when we put it into the computer build. So it says live to game. It's got the little Zotac emblem over here. It's got GeForce RTX up here, the serial number here. On what'll be facing out, it's got your power adapter, which is again just the single 12 VH power adapter. And then it says Zotac Gaming, GeForce RTX here. The GeForce RTX in both locations is emblazoned in regular paint or ink. It's not RGB. However, the Zotac Gaming with the emblem and the little lines here is RGB. And the emblem here, I believe, lights up. I do not know if it is actual RGB because I see color to it already. It should light up if the pictures were accurate. However, I've not used this card, so I'll try and correct that down below if it's not RGB on the little back plate. But you've got your fan and RGB connections here. You've got a rather nice cooler. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heat pipes that go through it. So it should help to keep it nice and cool. Depending on the fans, the fan curve, things like that, I could definitely see this keeping nice and cool. It could, however, also be a total meltdown and just not be a very good cooler. I don't know, but Zotac is usually very reliable, and so I have confidence that it will at least perform at a good place on that. So again, it's got the little stickers to take off so that it's guarded, so we're going to leave those on until we actually install it. And then you've got a PCIe X16 finger. This is a PCIe Gen 4 X16 card. Lower models like the 4060 are still X16 fingers. However, they are PCIe Gen 4 X8 cards, even though they have an X16 finger. And the difference will show in performance on older systems like I was mentioning before, Z370s, 390s, things along those lines that are older generations now that use PCIe 3 instead of 4 or 5 that the future generations will be on. Those lower tier cards, they will not perform as well on those older boards as they do on the newer boards. So do keep that in mind if you do go with a lower tier card. This one will be X16. It should still function close, if not full power, on Gen 3, but this here is a very nice card. I did also notice that it includes right here a little painted on logo in white of the Zotac little emblem. I don't even know what to call it. I'm going to say mask, but I don't know for sure if that's what it's supposed to be. But like I said, this is one amazing looking card, and I think that it's going to perform very well. I will try to test it out and give you some feedback on how it performs, but I can't guarantee that yet. It is, like I said, amazing looking. It's supposed to be rated as a pretty decent card overall by people that have reviewed it other than me. So I have no doubt that it will perform pretty good. But I am definitely also interested in hearing what you all think about the appearance of this as well. So make sure you leave those posts down in the comments section as to what your thoughts are on the looks of the card. And if you own this one, what you think of it and its performance. So thank you for watching, everyone, and that's the end of our unboxing video. Make sure that if you haven't already that you hit the subscribe button that should be up in this general area over here so you can keep up to date on our new videos. Make sure that you also like the video down below if you found it useful at all or enjoyed watching it. And then, as always, if you have any comments about myself, the channel, or about the product, or any thoughts on the appearance of it, make sure you leave those down below in the comments section. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye for now.